The Hunger Games, written by Suzanne Collins, is a book trilogy aimed towards teens, set in a future post-apocalyptic North America in a country named Panem. Panem is split up into 13 districts, each with their own specialized purpose, such as farming for District 11, and are collectively ruled by the capital, a city situated deep within the Rocky Mountains. However, because of the cruelty of the capital, the districts rebelled against the government. The rebellion, sadly, ultimately ended in failure. To prevent any rebellions in the future, the capital devised the Hunger Games, in which each district would randomly choose one boy and one girl to compete and fight to the death in an arena. The winner lives in luxury for the rest of their lives inside their home districts. In this setting, we're introduced to Katniss, who lives with her mother and sister, Prim, in the District 12. Katniss has an affinity for archery, which she uses to hunt for food illegally to keep her family alive. She also has a friend named Gale, who she speaks to and often goes hunting with. Together, they made a decent living off their poaching skills at the Hob. Then came this year's reapings. Every year in Panem, the reapings are held to choose who will be the sacrifice in each district. Katniss is sure that it would be her name to be picked, but it turns out that the girl's sacrifice is her sister, Prim, so she volunteers in her place to keep her safe. For the male sacrifice, a boy named Peeta is chosen, who once saved Katniss when they were young and barely knew each other by giving her bread. This sets up suspense in the train ride to the capital in preparation for the games. While the Hunger Games plot doesn't connect to the real world in a literal sense, the message that it conveys can be clearly seen in the media today. Governments in many countries seem to be endlessly corrupt, protests and revolutions happen almost on a regular basis, and weapons of mass destruction seem to be getting worse and worse. So a future such as Panem's doesn't seem very far-fetched. The Hunger Games is also largely inspired by the Roman Empire, particularly during a time when the Roman Empire was beginning to decline. This is evidenced in a number of ways. Many of the characters have Roman names, Panem literally means bread in Latin, and the Hunger Games themselves seem to be based on ancient Roman gladiatorial arenas. In the end, Panem and the Hunger Games reinforces, as George Santayana once said, "Those who cannot remember their past are condemned to repeat it."
Created using Powtoon.